to go. I've got an extension here for YouTube that shows me the chat, so I should be able to keep up with those pretty good. I know nobody's here right now, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you do have something that you want me to look at, drop it in the chat and I'll have a look. I'm just going to be doing some analysis through here and babbling to myself. Oh yeah, I got my piano going. Does that come through? Anyway, maybe I'll do that in a bit. It sounds terrible because it's not going through my my DAW, but whatever. I have an Elliott wave book here. This is the one that I always reference. Again, no one's here, but that's okay. I'm going to do this anyway. Maybe I edit this into a video later. Very possible. In fact, maybe that's what I do today. Ideally, this is a great routine, and I would love to do it all the time, but it does take a lot of energy. We got a first viewer here. Hello. Hello. You're the first to the party. We're looking at what brings us here today, most of us, AMC. There it is in all of its glory. Coming off of $63 and heading down. I'm going to be taking a look at this. What particularly interests me is this kind of bottom we got through here. I remember when the price fell way down to about 970. Where was that at? That seems like forever ago. Jeez, 970 was so long ago. There's 1062, 1028. Was this it? No. Damn. It's been a long time. And we've fallen down to $4. People were calling me crazy when I was saying 7, back when the price was up at like 40. Rebel, how's it going? How's it going, Rebel Mornings? Check it out, man. What do you want to look at? Just let me know. It's all cool. I'm going to be checking out a little triangle through here, I think, first. There's definitely like a level of horizontal support and resistance through here. I'm just going to go ahead and start with that. I'm going to use this little dip in the middle of that January bottom through there. And this seems to be a pretty significant level of support and resistance for the last couple of years. The double bottom formed in 2020, confirmed at about that same level. And now we're finding support there. Go figure. Go figure. Good to hear you're doing well. Yeah. What are you trading these days? Let me know. Let's look at it. Anyway, until then, let's just keep looking at AMC. There's a downtrend through here which broke, and I'm just going to start doing trend line analysis. That's like the first thing I do when I do a new chart is I just start finding these trends because the motive waves are going to be defined by trend lines, and as are the corrective waves, but typically in a correction you get a couple of different trends, and then yeah, we'll talk about that. What it looks like from here is that AMC has broken a downtrend and found some price support towards 393. I'm going to go ahead and get this colored correctly. I like to use the long dashed lines for the longer length trend lines, and that's kind of where I start the analysis. And we say, well, how many waves do we see through here? It really does look like 3 waves, right? Like 1, 2, 3. It's very possible that it is an ABC move down, but I would actually be expecting a motive wave through there. It's hard to say what kind of chart patterns we might have through here. This was a really awkward phase. I think it's because APE actually was issued back here, and that's what caused this massive, massive drop down to like $8. All that value just sucked into a new equity. And so it's kind of difficult. If I could, I would just copy and paste this part of the chart higher, and that would probably work. But at this point in time, we're just going to ignore that trend, and we're going to move on to this bottom that we're forming through here, because I really do think it could be a bottom. It really could be. AMC it could recover as a company and make money and really continue to move forward. And if it does that, then great. You know, there's going to be some bullish analysis here in the future. For the time being, we're still moving in this pattern for sure. And this is a big triangle, descending triangle. I'm going to pull up Bulkowski's website here, thepatternSite.com. Let's see. I think I have. Oh, I didn't even tweet. I should tweet. Here, let's tweet that out. Let Twitter know. I'm streaming. I'm here. Let's go to thepatternSite.com. Here we go. And this is the homepage. I know the website looks like it's from like the early 2000s, and that's okay. I got a hair in my mouth. My hair is very much in my face these days. I'm always like fussing with it. At any rate, yeah. Well, this guy is like, you know, he's pretty ancient at this point. He's done a lot of analysis, and like my hair is just so annoying. You can check out his blog. He does a lot of analysis here. He has software that does chart pattern analysis for him, and he shares those chart patterns on this blog. If I scroll down, you can see them. Here you go. He says, the following patterns were found manually. Oh, manually, not using patterns. Ooh, Mr. Bulkowski has excluded any security he owns from appearing in the list. However, he may add any of the securities listed to his portfolio at any time, just as you can. In the table below, the red and green colors are based on the historical breakout direction for the associated chart pattern. If a high and tight flag appears, the start and end dates highlighted, the flag pull only and not the flag. High and tight flags are like a topic of discussion because we've seen a lot of high and tight flags break to the downside, and you just think that it's a bullish thing, but it's really not. There's a chance that they don't work out. We'll go into that later as well, I'm sure. I'm serious. I've got hours ahead of me. As long as people are here, I'll just keep going, just for fun. I don't got anything to do today. I was planning on it, but nope. So let's see here. Wow, there's a lot of bullish chart patterns. Just scrolling through here, he's looking at a bunch of different symbols. So Bulkowski is looking at these and making these analysis, and that's impressive. Look at how many there are. He's got to be just sitting around for hours every single day looking at charts. I mean, this guy, this is the chart staring master right here. Google double bottom? Really? Okay. All right, well, let's go take a peek at this really quick. I wonder if he actually gives us, you know what? We're gonna go to chart patterns and we're gonna go to the descending triangle because we're looking at that AMC bottom, right? Let's try to stay like on topic a little bit. It's gonna be hard for me because I am just sort of improvising all the time. Descending triangles, here we go. At one time, I, Mr. Bulkowski, didn't have any favorite chart patterns because I considered them just buy or sell signals. However, I was starting to show affection for descending triangles with upward breakouts. I've made a lot of money trading this pattern, certainly more than from their ascending triangle brothers. However, updated performance numbers say performance has dropped substantially over the decades, almost in half since the 1990s. This is the value that this guy brings, is that experience. He's been watching a chart pattern since the 90s. It's like 30 years later, and this guy is still updating information about descending triangles. Like, how cool is that? Like, you have to appreciate that. Anyway, so let's just take some of this data. This is what I like to do. I just like to take this, I like to copy it, and then I just like literally paste it into my chart. Like, I just literally paste it into there. Like, I go over here, and I do a text tool, and I just plop it in. There you go. And I don't like yellow in like, well, text is, but like a big block of text, I'll put that in blue. I like this blue color. It's kind of poppy. And then I can reference that information here when I do the analysis. Let's go back to the website though, and we'll just make sure that we got the right characteristics. He says the trend can be in any direction leading to the pattern. Pattern bounded by two trend lines, the bottom one horizontal, the top one sloping downward. Price should touch one trend line at least 3 times and the other trend line at least twice as distinct peaks or valleys. And when he's talking about these touch points, he's actually simplifying Elliott wave for you. Instead of saying that you're going to get like a series of reactionary trends before a motive wave, he's just saying look for these touches, which is, it works, it works. Crossing. Here's the thing. This is important. Price must cross the pattern from trend line to trend line, nearly filling the available space. Avoid descending triangles with abundant, he says, white space. He's used to looking at charts that are on a white background and bar charts. You can't see all these pictures. That's the way it was way back in the day before charts were published in color. They were just black and white. That's why we get candlestick chart patterns called like long white or long black days. It's because that's what color they were when they were printed, just black and white. Of course, now we have all this color, which I don't really think helps the market or the psychology at all. I talk about that a lot. Anyway, volume recedes 78% of the time through a descending triangle and gets quite low just before the breakout. The breakout can be in any direction, and it's upward only 53% of the time. So it's definitely a coin toss on whether or not it's a basing pattern or a continuation pattern. Anyone's guess. And then he gives us the measure rule. This is how we come up with the price targets, compute the height from the highest peak to the horizontal trend line, and then multiply it by the percentage being price target stat above, which is up here. And then let's see here. Add it to the breakout or subtract it from the breakout, depending if it's bullish or bearish, which direction the, it says my stream quality is bad. I'm like, really? I don't know. It still says frame rates are 60 FPS, right? You guys let me know. Let me know if it's any good or not. I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to take a look at this. It's definitely Definitely the right chart pattern. We've got our touches, and you're going to see that I'm doing this on a line chart. I'm going to show it on a candlestick chart really quickly. I think this is a pretty good view right here. You really want to make sure that you have your axes proportioned well so that you actually see the trend lines properly. If I were to just like draw this line and make it look like a 45-degree angle, you see how close I am to 45 degrees there? That's not too bad. That's pretty good. So that tells me that I did a good job on the axis there. When I float over this, you're going to see that that box disappears. I'm actually going to change that. I want the label to show on hover. Also a Thinkorswim tutorial, I guess. Thinkorswim's amazing. It really is. I've seen other trading platforms, and I just really don't care for them. Thinkorswim has everything I want and need. It really, except for, and Thinkorswim should definitely do this, give me the ability to put a circle around a text box. Like, I would like that. It'd make it easier to do Elliott wave analysis. Anyway, so I'm going to be using that hover tool there. Oh, and then I didn't save that as standard. So let's go on hover, save as default. Okay, there we go. And now every line I draw, I'll be able to do that. I'm going to redraw this line just so I can actually see, because I'm going to take that high and this all the way down to that level at, let's see here, 393. I'm going to drop it down, and when I hover, it tells me the height of the pattern overall, which is what I'm going to use in the price target. So we've got a downtrend that's 185 days long, at least, once it intersects with the horizontal level of support. It's going to be 130 trading days, 40 and a 48% decline. Wow. $3.68. That's what I'm looking for. $3.68. Now I'm going to come up here. I'm going to grab this guy, bring it into my field of view. So we're going to take 368, and this is where I need a calculator. We'll pull this over too. So 360, whoops, already messing up. 368 by, let's see, if we break out, the percentage meaning price target for an upside breakout is 64%. So that's really what we're looking for, is 64% of this. Go ahead and multiply by 0.64, and that gives me 235. And so I'm just going to add that to whatever the breakout price is, and that's our price target if we get a bullish breakout. And we kind of have to speculate where that would be. Let's just assume it's the current price at 437. Let's just do that. Plus 437. And if we have to move that later, that's okay. This at least gives us something to work with, and I'm plenty happy with that. I'm going to start this out here. We're going to edit it, and we're going to call it unconfirmed target. Unconfirmed target, because we don't have the breakout yet, and we're going to need to edit it later, so we're just going to put it down. Is it really 550? Is it already there, really? No, it was 672. Yeah, don't forget to put in the actual target. There you go. It's a little higher. Not bad. It's coming to the top of this corrective wave we had. This was weird. This was a really weird pattern through here. Like, what? That was so confusing. It looked like a broadening bottom. And then it wasn't. Price broke down and headed sideways. Okay, anyway, let's open the calculator again. And what was that? 235 is the percentage between price target. And we can make this negative and then add it to the level of support and resistance at 393. Whoops. 393. And wow, if we get a downward breakout, that's the target. Yikes. So I'm just going to duplicate unconfirmed target, and I'm going to edit just that right there. And oh my goodness. This is the chart pattern to follow right here. If you're bullish, if you're bearish, there's a lot. Geez, why is it that the target at 158 seems so much further away than that at 672? It's because I'm actually on log scale. If I turn off log scale, it's going to look a little different. And even the chart pattern analysis is like, ooh, a little more spicy. Ooh, a little more spicy. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Starting to break out just a little bit, maybe. Doesn't really look like a breakout, but that volume, just like Bulkowski was saying on his website, is getting very low. Of course, implied volatility is still trending up as price is like grinding sideways or moving down. We're going to need to see that flip, I think, for that big upward breakout to reach 672. And of course, being the meme stock AMC is, if we do get an upward breakout, it's probably just going to like jump to the target. Something to keep in mind. I'm going to move back into log scale because this is typically how I do my chart pattern analysis. You can see here that now the price is showing as crossing above that line. This gives me a little more conservative analysis. It really does. But I also have to keep in mind that the linear scale is probably the most correct here. And it just depends whether or not you want to say we've had 3 touch points along this descending trend line or the horizontal trend line. It really could be either. And so we're just going to leave it like this and wait for the more conservative analysis to play out. It's just, I don't like to speculate too much. All I used to do is speculate, and that wasn't great. I learned this analysis. Things got a lot better. And this is actually a pretty good chart pattern analysis. There's a couple of things we can go through here. The first is volume. Definitely a big surge in volume right here at the top on this big green. And that's where I like to take my signals for new chart patterns, is at big points of volume. They mark large, important levels of horizontal support and resistance. Typically after that, you get a correction phase, and that's mostly what the large majority of our chart patterns are. We're trying to describe corrective phases, trying to put some percentage of certainty to price movement when it is uncertain. That's what corrective modes do, is they create uncertainty. All of this is all a bunch of uncertainty. And there's always a bunch of MOAS hype through here. Like, whatever. It's just, it's par for the course. It's a meme stock after all. And that's okay. We can still look at this and do the chart pattern analysis, and I think this has been the best way to look at these stocks for years. I used to be a big meme stock hyper. Like, I had targets way up in the 90s if we were to get an upward breakout, and those breakouts just never came. And so it's like, okay, eventually you have to just say the analysis is saying that this is not going to happen. And then sure enough, it didn't. Price fell, and we reached the targets that were to the downside. But we can talk about volume here. You can definitely see that there is descending volume. There's a lot of these price spikes through here. We can just ignore those. You're going to see that I have this yellow line running through my volume chart, and this is a 30-period average. And what this does is it helps even out what's going on. So we can use the spikes to identify important levels of support and resistance, and then we can use the yellow line to characterize how volume is moving. And yeah, you could if you wanted to, like, do one of these numbers, but this isn't like super helpful in that average volume actually might be rising against this downtrending slope, which was set by 2 outlier price data points. You know what I'm saying? 2 data points here should not dictate the overall characteristic of the trend. It's just not a good way to make that analysis. So I use the period average, and you can see it's definitely coming down, and it might actually be coming up just a little bit here towards the end, while implied volatility is coming up. Interesting to see that we get these spikes in implied volatility. Let's see here at the low. And then it's, wow, the implied volatility found a bottom here at the top trend line touch. Interesting. And at the middle here. This is probably a pretty good level to watch, is 550. Yeah, 550. That's a big level for AMC. Absolutely. It's kind of like the price point that we're spinning on now. You can kind of see how the price pushes above it, comes down, comes back to it, pushes back down. Maybe we get an upward breakout, come back up to it, and move to 672 in the future. Very possible. But we don't have a breakout. And so we're just going to have to wait for a while. And meanwhile, the RSI, of course, is starting to move across the oscillator, across the overbought and oversold regions more often, or more as price makes smaller moves. Does that make sense? The averages here are going to be really high between these swings. And then as price stops moving through such a wide trading range, the averages become smaller as well. And so the RSI starts to move a little less. You can see we didn't get overbought or oversold for quite a while between February 27th and, wow, just about June 22nd. So several months, March, April, May, June. Wow, like 3 whole months without the RSI reaching either way. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually just look at patterns in the RSI. Sometimes that can be helpful. Like support and resistance on the RSI. You can see that that's also where you're going to find support and resistance in the price, which is oddly effective. And that's because the RSI is derived from the price, and it's an expression of moving average, or of an average. So there we go. This is AMC. Let's zoom into the 15-minute time frame here. I wanted to, I think it's on this one. I wanted to look at today's price action and try to figure out what's going on through here. I have this pennant forming on a smaller time frame, and I have some targets. You can see we found a wave A, down to the end of wave B, up to wave C, target at 457. That was a perfect hit. And then we pushed down off of this downtrend into another ABC pattern. And I think I did these on the hourly time frame. So I'm going to take a moment and just kind of like clean them up a little bit. You can see what that does to the targets, right? And we didn't get to that 398 level. Instead, we came down to about $4, which is that important level of support and resistance. Price reversed and started heading higher. And this is where it gets interesting because we broke that downtrend on low volume. And since then, we haven't really seen, well, there was a big price spike earlier today, that's for sure. And now the price is starting to drop, right? I had forecasted, here, let's take this one off. Let's just get rid of it. This was the last target I put up, and I was pretty proud of it. We got this perfect move, basically. This must have been on the hourly time frame, too, because this isn't quite lined up on the 15-minute chart, but it looks even better when I do line it up on the 15-minute chart. You might be wondering how I was able to do this. I was speculating that we were in A, B, and then in a C wave, and that C wave's motive, it comes up pretty high, of course. We pushed down off of there, and so I was looking for a reactionary trend. And it's interesting because the price actually keeps rising, and we still hit those targets. Curious stuff, curious stuff. Anyway, now price is just grinding sideways. There's a huge couple big rejections there, especially today. Really, really curious. We're seeing implied volatility start to tick up as price moves down now, which tells me that the motive mode might be pointing down, which is to say that we could be in for another downtrend, really. Which isn't, the worst thing ever. It's really not if you're looking to buy more shares. Let's go ahead and take a peek here on the candlestick chart, what this looks like. Wow. And then a lot of support at 427. Typically, when you get an upward breakout of a downtrend like this, we're looking for a back test, which we definitely got. And what will confirm the breakout is passing above the top of that last move. And so I'm going to drop a tool here, and I want the close of that green bar. I'm going to call this bullish continuation. So I had that potential $6 target, $6.70 or something like that, from the descending triangle, and this would probably be a good confirmation level for that price target at 458. So if you're looking for like a $2 rally, like a 50% rally, that's a pretty big rally, right? It really is. And if we can use our analysis to time that by, then great. Of course, I'm not trading AMC. It's just like you saw on Bulkhaus's website on sharing his blog a few minutes ago. He was noting that he doesn't actually share analysis on things he trades, and that's really wise. This is a vlog, so I do share what I'm trading, but when it comes to AMC and GameStop, I try to keep it objective, and I do that by not trading it. As soon as you start trading something, the bias comes in, and it's hard. It's difficult. Much easier to analyze without the pressure of having to make money on something. At any rate, you can see that price soared this morning and rejected before reaching that bullish continuation at 458. I wonder if I go into the hourly time frame, if this will look a little better. You can see that now we have this big wick. What I'm going to do is turn on a line chart, because the line chart is going to take out the price extremes. And suddenly, that bullish confirmation level is now lower. And so price pushed up to it and then fell through. And what this does is this characterizes a more concrete rejection of that level than the candlestick chart did. Again, this is based on the closing of each period, which is an hour right now. And so you don't get those big price extremes. Pretty brutal. If AMC can't get through 450, then this is probably the top of a big wave B, and we're looking for another big push down, which is not popular, I know. And the price target from the chart pattern was like seriously $1.50. When I do the Elliott wave analysis, this is kind of sloppy through here, so bear with me. No pun intended. It looks like a measured move down to me, essentially, where you can see this white line comes down to about that 443, and this is a wave C confirmation, and it's actually supposed to be colored the same color as the other annotation, which is in white. You can see 1, 2 for B, and then that third wave is wave C coming down to 356. And then if it extends like wave C tends to do, then 263. So the Elliott wave analysis here is actually more conservative than the chart pattern analysis, which is interesting. This makes sense to me because I think we're in a triangle through here. This is on the daily time frame, which is not the same time frame I was charting on. So you can see that these lines move, but essentially a triangle in wave B, which would be at the minuet degree here shown in blue, is a good way to divide the minute wave C into 3 different waves. So that's kind of how it goes. You got these minute waves, B and C, and in that C wave, I'm speculating that we're going to find another 3-wave motion through here, and I have that shown in these blue parentheses. And then the waves that compose those waves are shown in yellow. And I just kind of cycle the colors like that through there, help me keep track of what wave degree I'm on. And sometimes I don't even have to put the annotation down. It's kind of unnecessary to know the names of the waves. You really just need to understand how the degrees work. You call me anything you want. I try to stick with the labeling that Frost and Pretcher give in their book, of course. That's the best thing to do. Really, I think everyone should just buy this book. It's really hard to read. It's not an easy read. It's really not. Check out this. I just want to share this. You see this thing right here? I'm seeing a lot of these in the market right now, and I think everybody else is too. Tesla's doing it. Oops. I think Apple's doing it. So we'll look at those. I want to zoom into the minute time frame here really quickly, just to see this rejection. Man, that's insane. And then let's get the candles turned on. Whoa. Candle trend. No, it's going to be... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, wow. This morning I was watching the charts, and I saw the RSI come up here at 88. And I was like, oh man, I should buy some. I was like, no, I shouldn't buy some. Whenever I think I should not. Sure enough, price fell. We found a top through here. This is actually a great example of a motive wave, and maybe I should go over this because this could be beneficial. When we start to get these sorts of rallies, it can be really exciting, and it can be very easy to lose your head. I mean, these are some big green bars, and it wasn't like volume was super low. 239,000 in the minute is really, really high, especially when the 30-period average is down at 28,000. So here you had some significant volume at a level of support and resistance break, price pushed up, and then just kept pumping. Really, it was a pretty good move. I think if you were to find the percentage here, I can't remember, was it 2 or 3%? I don't know. At any rate, let's talk about motive waves, and we'll do it on a line chart. We'll do it on a line chart for now. Just get some color there. Here is our trend line, external trend line. Take the lowest point, find the highest point, drag the trend line down until it doesn't break through the price between those 2 points. Eventually, that trend will break, and you'll see that happen. And we'll use the price extremes. We're on the 1 minute time frame right now. And so it's helpful to use the bar chart or the candle chart to get some of that intra-minute action. It can be useful. Like this is probably the top of impulse 1. And then we have A, B, and C. And we start a 3-wave form through here. 1, 2, 3. This is wave 4 and 5. And guess what happens next? You get an A, B, C correction. And that's kind of where we're at now. And then maybe your correction ends up being just, wow, that's crazy. It's a V-top. That's a V-top. That is a picture-perfect V-top. And this, okay, wow. Where's the wave extensions? Where's waves A and B? Let's go ahead and start labeling this chart a little bit more. Try to bring some clarity here. We're going to call this the beginning of impulse. We're going to call this impulse start. And by impulse, all I mean is that price is making a motive move, a move that makes progress. And that's an important level to watch. As soon as price retraces beyond that level, then we know that we've started a new motive wave heading down, not just a corrective trend. So I'm going to go through here. I'm just going to label this a little bit. I'm on the drawing board chart. I don't know if I really want to do this here. Whatever. We'll do it anyway. We'll just start here saying 1, A, B, and C. Kind of a funny 3-wave form. I'm going to turn on the line chart. I'm going to do it because it's just hard with the candle chart to always make sense of it. See, it doesn't make as much sense there. Let's see here. It's going to be 1, 2, and then we start wave 3. It makes sense that wave 1's actually way back here, and it's tiny. and it's just tiny. And I'm not going to go ahead, I'm not going to label the corrective waves all the time. It gets a little cluttery, you know. Let's call this wave 2. That's a sideways correction. And then we start a third wave, which extends. Probably 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. This looks like a pretty good zigzag through here, doesn't it? So I'm going to call this the top of wave 3. And I do that so that I get a good alternating waveform between waves 2 and 4. Let me label wave 4. Let's go ahead and talk about what I mean by waveform. So yeah, wave 2 here is sideways. It just goes sideways. And you can tell that there is a zigzag through here. So this is like a sharp correction. It's a sharp correction. Oh, would you look at that? Is there a flag through there? Yeah, there's absolutely a flag through there. Motive wave 3 can form a flagpole because it's the most commonly extended wave. And so you get these really strong pushes higher, and then wave 4 forms a flag. Now, if wave 5 makes an upward breakout, it could be a complete non sequitur with the idea of a high and tight flag, because what follows wave 5 is a reactionary trend heading lower. And you can see that this blue line here, which I think is the top of a pattern, right? Yeah, the triangle on the hourly time frame. That was our resistance zone. And you can see how price, when it started to correct here, it found some support there and then started to go lower. And so I'm going to use that as the beginning of our corrective reactionary trend. I'm going to go ahead and finish up labeling wave 5. And you can see that wave 5 doesn't pass beyond the end of wave 3. So it's technically truncated. I'll just notate it that. We call it truncated because it's a motive wave. It's supposed to make progress, but guess what? It doesn't. So this tells us that we have a top. If this was a high and tight flag, that confirmation would come after price passed above the top of wave 3, not the breakout of the flag. It's very important to understand that. And Bulkowski's chart pattern analysis on his website, thepatternsight.com, he makes that very, very clear that you need to pass above the top of the flagpole to confirm the pattern. Here, we get the breakout of the flag itself, but not the pull. Price starts to correct downward. And that starts with an impulse and then a 3-wave correction. And boom, 444. That was the corrective target. And what happens next is you see price continue to go down, which means that wave C is extending. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do it. This is the bottom of wave A. And this is correcting the impulse that started before open, or right at open actually, right? Yeah, price opens and starts running. We're going to start correcting that with wave A. I'm going to duplicate for wave B. Yep. And then wave C clearly extends as price sets a low towards 435 and starts grinding sideways in an extension. This is annoying, and I'm not going to analyze that. You just start counting like reiterations of 3 separated by X, Y, and Z. And it's confusing and it's not very productive. Like, you might as well just wait for the trading range to break. Okay, so wave C. Let's break down wave C, and we'll put that point down. Just get ready for it. I'm going to turn off this wave extension here, and I'm going to start another extension tool. I'm going to start that extension tool from the top of wave B down to that target and then up to the top of that corrective wave. And what this does is this characterizes an extension of wave C where we're looking for 161.8, and we get it at 438. Sure enough, that's a pretty strong level. Extend this to the right. You can see price comes up to it, fails a couple of times, and is now bouncing between the start of the impulse and that level. Wave C probably ends right here. And then this begins our extension sideways, which features, sure enough, some sort of pennant. This is an extension, and then we get the grind. I wonder if I could break this down. It looks like we have a flip here. See how price finds a couple peaks, heads lower. This could begin to fractal into a bigger downtrend. It really could, where A, B, and C, and then the C wave extension actually becomes a new motive wave. And then the sideways correction through here is part of a larger wave degree, which points down. And so what we start doing is we start considering this as waves 1, maybe even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where I have 3, 4, 5, in which case We could relabel this if we wanted to. We're gonna leave it here though. We know that because the extension from wave 5 peak to the bottom of wave A was exceeded by the following impulse, which was a C wave heading lower past 444, that this could be wave 3. We know that wave 3 can't be the shortest wave, so right away we know that this could be 4 and 5, and that could complete our impulse down here. But what I'm going to do is consider this first to be a third wave extension. So instead of A, I'm going to get 1. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There's always multiple possible counts. 2, and then wave 3 starts to extend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yup. There you go. We can call that the bottom of wave 3 instead of C. And then maybe we get 4 over here. And 5. Okay, there you go. And then we start this weird pattern through here. And then we get A, B, and C. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe there's a flat through here. Again, once we start going sideways, I really just stop counting. Like, whatever. These 5 sub-minuet waves, they complete minuet corrective wave A, which I will color in blue. I like the blue color. It's my favorite color on here. There you go. And then this sideways grind becomes B. And it's also a bear flag. It's a bit, and it's on a larger time frame than this little itty bitty flag through here. So we can get rid of this, and maybe we view this on the 15-minute time frame, and we zoom in. That looks, see, the wave count looks awful through there. So we're gonna go back to the 1-minute time frame. Again, this is a very like zoom in. This is a very granular analysis. If price can bounce up from here, that could be part of a wave B correction. At this point, it looks like we probably won't get that. I'm not going to say that it's off the table, but this looks like a big bear flag, right? We had a big motive wave up, a little high and tight flag, failure to break out and rally, and oh, now we have another flag pull with another flag on it. And so we get bearish confirmation now. If we can get a confirming move below 436, price is bouncing on that level now a couple of different times. You can see that. Important to watch this. They are shorting volatility, says Jeff Joe, and buying the 7 tech stocks to run this up. Oh my goodness, the tech stocks. The tech stocks are going nuts. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I look at Apple's chart and it's just like, it's nonsense to me, especially as China's economy is slowing. If things break down, like trade relationships between China and the US break down, Apple stock's gonna go just like into the tank. Like, I'm so convinced of that. Let's do a little analysis here. If this is a flag pull and we get the bearish breakout from wave B, what are the targets? Here we go. This is our really granular micro trend AMC analysis, which is kind of hard to do sometimes, but if you're just grinding sideways on a larger wave degree, you might as well do this. Ooh, 423, 412, and there's a trend here to react with at those levels if we get this bear flag, which breaks out to the downside. Applied volatility doing a weird flip through here. You can see it spikes as price drops, and now it's kind of just heading sideways. RSI, of course, reached oversold at the bottom of motive wave 3 and at the bottom of the first wave of 3. We haven't reached overbought yet. Typically we do in a corrective cycle. If it's going to be a sharp correction here, it looks like we might have a sideways correction, in which case the RSI is going to look worthless for a while because it won't hit overbought, oversold until it grinds sideways for a very long time, or it makes a breakout move. So here we go. We're going to call this a V-top. We're just going to do it. V-top. And technically it's a V-top with a handle. So this is essentially the price running up to this bullish confirmation level and rejecting. And now we're asking whether or not we're going to continue lower, hanging out just above the start of the impulse, or whether we're going to retest and try to break 450 again. I think if we're going to go back up and test 450, let's see, the downtrend. This is our downtrend. Price is reacting with it right now. So we should know in short order if we're going to pop back up there or not. You can see that as price begins to encounter that level near that downtrend, that's where this spike in implied volatility is coming in. Price is now curling down towards 435. Let's see if we can zoom in on the volume here a little bit. Big volume candle right there, but not much to say for it, except for that that's probably resistance at the downtrend. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the candlestick chart, and we'll have a peek here. Yeah, suddenly you see barcoding, right? And a lot of people point to barcoding and they just get upset, like corruption. It's like, well, I mean, get over that and look at a line chart. It doesn't look so barcodey, does it? Not at all. You got to present the data in a way that makes sense. Barcoding is just sideways grind at a very small time degree. Very, very small time degree. All right. If anybody wants to let me look at anything, let me know. I'm just going to move on from here. This has been a pretty deep analysis into AMC. We got a bear flag showing up off that 450 rejection, encountering that downtrend now. Maybe we come back in a few minutes. Let's go to GameStop, which also has similar vibe to it. Big run up and reverse. Wow, brutal. It's just brutal. Zooming out into the hourly time frame. Here you go. Here's something I haven't gone over on my channel for a long time. It's the possibility that we're actually seeing a bullish leading diagonal form. It's possible that we get a downward breakout here and we just have to like reanalyze this whole thing. Very possible. I'm going to drag this down a little bit. You can see we got a couple of trend line touches here. Let's do this. Try to pull this down a little bit. Yeah, I like that best. You can see we found support right where we think we would. Now, whether or not we get a bounce back up to the top trend line or a downward breakout is up to whether or not price can get back above that 23.99 level. This is my bearish reversal level from way back here. You see this level actually starts from this high and tight flag. Yeah, there's a high and tight flag back here too. And this flag starts like not quite at the top of its flagpole. And again, you get that upward, you get that little push out of the flag, and then price just like falls apart. Again, the confirmation for a flag is the top of the flagpole, and it's only got a 60% chance of an upward breakout anyway. If you do get that extension though, you're probably in a wave 3 extension, and so you get just like this powerful surge. And it's fantastic. Not the case here. You know, maybe I want to redraw this line too. And this will clean up my chart a little bit. Makes the pattern a little wider. And it helps me recharacterize some of this, where now I don't have a trend line touch here where C is. And so C comes up here. Oh, this looks much better actually. And we are working on trend line touch D. When I get 2 consecutive touches along a trend, I just ignore it. Maybe even I do this. And then we say, ha, didn't touch. And we're looking for D, we're getting there, or we've had it, and we're looking for E. This is probably a better analysis. This price swing through here was news driven, and so maybe we have to exercise a little bit of discretion there. Again, this really could be A, B, C, D, and E. And if we get that breakout above E, we'll probably see price rise to 30.46 or 35.13. Of course, right now, that's totally like, no, we're looking at. No, we're looking definitely now right at a measured move down through here, and we've had a breakout, and this confirms a much lower target. Oh, that's one to the upside. I need one of these to the downside. Let's see. Wave C, if we get a bearish push, we're looking for 2072 with an extension at 1796. And hey, would you look at that? Here's a dip, level of support, and look, here's another level of support. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I can see how the price is positioned to move in one of these 2 directions. What good is that analysis? Well, if you know what levels to watch for, then you might catch one or either moves. It's good to be flexible. I think that we've gotten a downward breakout past this valley of this impulse coming off of the top of this triangle. And this confirms the target, but we're seeing a lot of resistance through here. A lot of supports coming in. And it doesn't look all that bearish, to be honest. Can I just like, there we go. This could be wave B before we get wave C in this measured move down to 1796 or 2072. Could be. We could also reverse out of here in some sort of a head and shoulder bottom. The shoulder heights should be similar. Let me zoom in a little bit. If I'm straining my eyes, then you're definitely straining your eyes. Could be a double head through here. Typically, you either get 2 shoulders or 2 heads, not both. So we could easily call this a head and shoulder. I think it's okay. First shoulder coming in towards 22.96. Second shoulder coming in towards 22.70. It's not too bad. And you can see how the neckline of that inverted head and shoulder pattern is part of this triangle that I've drawn. So we could say that the 3-wave form that characterizes correction and the 3-wave form that characterizes a horizontal triangle can both play into that bottoming pattern. Essentially, both have the same breakout, which is breaking that upper trend line between peaks. Doesn't really matter which pattern you want to use. Looking at the RSI at this point on the 1 hour, we're looking at overbought at the top of the pennant or triangle down to oversold through here. And you can see that there's a bullish divergence through here. So this is a great indication that we just came to the end of a motive wave. Typically between waves 3 and 5, you're going to see this sort of a thing happen right here. Color that green. This tells me this is wave C, probably an A, B, C. I wonder if that extension works out too. Let's see here. Just try this out. Wow, the extension was at 23.22 and price fell below there, came back up and tested it and set new low. That's a pretty strong push down. Price bounced, of course, pretty exuberantly and then rejected at that trend line touch. So we're just grinding sideways. Just grinding sideways. It's just like AMC. Just like AMC. Very possible we go either way, but until we get a breakout, we're just going to have to sit and wait. I think this bearish reversal line at $24 is pretty important. Even if we get an upward breakout, watch 24. Eventually, price will move out of this pennant regardless of a breakout in either way. So, Google. Yeah, let's go look at Google. Let's do it. Google. I was just looking at this a little bit, actually, because I can't remember why, actually. All right, so my default drawings are totally blank, which is great. Let's go to a monthly max view. Let's look at the whole thing. Oh my God, it's huge. We're starting in 2004 at like 268. In 2018, I remember saying that Google was going to take over the world. That was like my tropey, angsty teenager phase. And you know, price doubled since then. I was a smart teenager. That was not a smart teenager. But some things are just pretty obvious. Okay, so obviously we've exceeded this extension target from this initial impulse. Probably a good spot to call waves 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And is this an extended 5th wave? Extended 5 waves are not the best. They typically signal a strong correction in one direction. I'm looking for alternating forms in corrective waves. And what that's going to do is it's going to mean this sharp correction here and this sharp correction here aren't part of the same wave degree. Perhaps what this actually is waves 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, and 5 of 3 extends. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could be just finishing up wave 3 of 5 on a much bigger time frame. We're going to start using some channel tools here to clear this up. Wave 3 typically has its own channel. And let's just put this down. And breaking the top of the channel is typical for the top of a motive wave. You can see when I break analog scale what this looks like. And suddenly it's like that analysis doesn't work anymore. That's why you got to use log scale sometimes. Because otherwise price data doesn't always make a whole lot of sense. Let's go to the auto zoom. Get that to give me the log scale back. Come back here a little bit. And maybe I get really gutsy with it. Yeah, see, this motive trend doesn't work. Price isn't running along there at all. I would want to start this count with A and B and call this all wave C. Topping out here towards 86. But it's possible that we actually get a new high through here. In which case we'd call this wave 4 and 5. But again, I want different kinds of, you don't have to have alternation in waveform. It's just a pretty good rule. That might mean that this wave 4 has just begun. This is A and this is B, and then we'll get C, and then wave 5 follows. That's probably what's going on. Let's turn on a weekly chart, and that'll give us a few more price extremes to work with. Okay. I'm going to scrutinize where I'm starting this thing. Let's start it right down here at the dip from 2008. Whew. Good times. Good times. There we go. Let's follow this thing up because it doesn't look like it really touches either extreme until we get the underthrow, which is probably a wave 4 and 5. So this is waves 4 and 5 at some degree. This is definitely A and probably B. This is probably B, wave B up here. The reason why I'm doing this is because the topping out that 118 level, that extension level, this is good. What this does is this lets me know that, hey, we're probably in a sideways correction through this trading range, and this downtrend through here is just the initial impulse. So this is going to be a wave A, meaning that this bounce is likely wave B, and so I'm not going to be looking for rules of motive and corrective waves at this time degree. This could be reaching the top at this. You can see that the RSI is forming a divergence, a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. Again, this is a weekly chart. And something else too, I always say it, when you're drawing the divergences on the RSI, make sure that you're using the close of the bar, not just the wicks, because that's not where the RSI data point comes from. It comes from the close. See a lower high in the RSI. I wonder if this shows up more on the daily time frame. Look at volume. The volume spikes are dropping, but look carefully, that 30 period average is flat. But still, we can probably say that, yeah, we're probably losing steam as Google bounces heading higher. Is there even like the possibility that this might be in some sort of like rising diagonal? It's possible. Maybe on the daily time frame, I get a price extreme through here that gives me the necessary touch points for that analysis. Otherwise, I don't really have to do that. I can just say it's waves A, B, C, D overthrowing. No, wave E overthrows. It have to be E, D, C, B would have to be up here. So I need a price extreme. We'll get into that. And just really quickly, I just want to say we looked at this to understand this is probably waves 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be a sideways, and then 5 pushes higher. If wave 4 ends down here towards 90, then wave 5 may truncate. I don't know. All I want to know is what's going to happen in the next like couple of weeks. That's where people's attention span is. If people hear me say like bullish on Google for wave 5 and wave 5 takes 2 or 3 years to play out, everyone's going to be calling me, a poor analyst as price drops through corrective wave 4. But like really I'm waiting for wave 5 in like 2 years. So I want to try to keep the analysis into like the more near to immediate time frame. It's just better that way. Zooming into the daily time frame, then we can start to look at this a little more and understand this as a corrective bounce, which obviously it is at this point in time. Let's check that divergence. Is that present here too? It is. Yes. And we're probably watching it break on the daily time frame a little bit, probably a significant high through there. Let's see. This was the first divergence through here. This marks the top of a motive wave at some degree. And then we have yet another set of divergence. Nope, not through there. Interesting. Kind of at that level though, right? Yes. Yeah, okay. Just one set of divergence truly, marking the top of that motive wave for wave C. Now extending sideways as implied volatility rises to the downside and doesn't respond as much to the price rising back up to that high. I'm going to go ahead and start looking at the trend through here. Maybe I even try to count the motive wave that preceded it, this impulse from that high in 2021. And I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this channel too. This looks, of course, a lot like every other mega cap ever. I'm just going to start drawing chart patterns where I can. I think I see through here some sort of sideways correction. Not much of a chart pattern per se, but it gives me an idea of what might be wave 2, 3. Maybe 3 comes down, and then 4 is sharp. 4 should be sharp, and 5 should be motive. Perhaps it truncates down here on bullish divergence. Yes, this is right here. This might be the end of wave 5. Yeah, that low right there. See this divergence right here? Let's just make this a thing. Let's go ahead and color that green. Bullish divergence, bullish bias. There we go. Slightly higher low on the RSI, much lower low on the price. Sure enough, what follows is a corrective uptrend. Yep, gonna go ahead and draw that. That's what that trend looks like. Gonna go ahead and put that in a dashed line. And of course, there's another uptrend through here. And it's probably, maybe we can characterize it like an ascending broadening wedge, probably with a very shallow slope. But we don't really get a touch point here, do we? Price comes sideways and pushes higher. So I'm gonna resist that. I'm gonna get rid of that top trend line and just do the uptrend through there on the smaller wave degree. So I'll show that with a smaller trend line. Now price broke down and broke back up. Annoying. Sideways extension. Trendless warning. You might see this and say there might be an inverted head and shoulder through here. I don't really think so. Shoulder is too low on this side. If anything, we're just gonna try to split this up into 3 moves. Impulse A can be 3 moves. Maybe even this is wave 5 at some degree, topping out. We get A, B, and C. And this is B through here with another C wave. That looks pretty good, to be honest. I'm going to use the RSI to try to inform, though, where the top of that motive wave is that preceded it. Wow, this was the highest RSI. Even though the price, wow, that's a big bearish divergence on a bigger time frame, isn't it? Yep. And then we got, let's see, oversold right here. This could be the very beginning. Here's the very top right there. Yep, one of those guys. You might look at that and say, hey, this looks like it could break out to the upside. You know, we got this big impulse. We got a wave B. No, this is a big impulse, and this is probably like wave 5 truncating and then correcting. Be careful. It's hard to know when that is happening, right? Implied volatility here, rising. And the downward breakout at the beginning of the year. So we're going to be looking for highs and lows through here because the first dip that isn't completely retraced is going to be our beginning impulse. And so I see a couple of levels here that are very close together. 14791. And what was this close right here? 148. So 9 cents higher. This push up completely retraced this push down. So this first push is not motive, it's corrective. So we have corrective, and this is also corrective, and this is also corrective, and this is also corrective. Very annoying. Which one becomes the initial impulse, right? And maybe the best way to do that is to check our trends. There's a downtrend right there that breaks. Then we have an A, maybe B, and C. Yeah. I think that's what's up right there. 1, 2. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And I'm going to drop an extension tool down from the beginning of this wave to the bottom of the corrective trend to the top of that corrective trend. And what this does is it lets me measure the next impulse, make sure it's longer than wave 1. So I know that the third wave isn't shorter than the first. And we also get an extension target at 107.3. That's typically what we see wave 3 do, right? And so we can start labeling this. Now, I wonder what wave degree I want to use. It'd be nice to have like a really solid, proper Elliott wave count here on Google. And to do that, I'm going to have to think like at the 15-minute time frame, I'm probably going to have like sub-mini wet waves, and minute waves. And on the hourly time frame, maybe I'll do minor, intermediate, and primary. And then on daily and weekly like this, I'll start at cycle. Let's start with cycle degrees. Let's do it. There's 9 degrees of Elliott wave, and you just heard me rattle through most of them. Kirkland's signature sparkling water. It's lime. Hashtag not sponsored. Costco stock is something to talk about too, actually. Maybe I'll get there eventually. Let's go ahead and put some of these letters down. So the cycle wave degree is, let's see. It looks like it's sub-mini wets, right? Yes. Yeah, it does. Looks like sub-mini wet. We're going to duplicate, come up here, call this 2. You know what I can do is I can just check. I don't know why I don't just check. The book's right here. I've got it tabled, labeled here. Okay, it's capitalized though. It's capitalized. See this? The wave degrees. Check it out. It's a book. Try reading one. All right. Gonna correct that right now. There we go. 1, 2, duplicate, wave 3. And this is a beautiful example of a motive wave heading down. You can easily see that wave 2 here is a sharp correction. Just, you can see that, right? Looks like a big check mark. And then the next corrective wave is definitely not so sharp. Much more just a sideways grind, which can be really annoying, but basically it forms within like this big rectangle through here. There's an underthrow and an overthrow. Sometimes those happen together. So if you get a breakout but then it rejects, look for the other side to play a trick on you too. It happens. And maybe wave 3 actually ends, let's see, let's zoom in a little bit. This might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, right here. And then A, maybe, and then B has 3 waves. A, B, C. Ooh, there's an extension in there somewhere, and I'm not going to count it. Nope, not going to bother, because really wave 5 could end out here. In fact, this is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just going to do that. We're just going to do it. There's wave 3. And there's kind of like a divergence through here. And maybe this is the end of wave 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is impulse. I think this is okay. We're gonna settle here. Say that's 3, A, B, C for 4. And then we push down for 5. And duplicate. And right here. Okay. And now we know we're looking at waves A, B, and C. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this extension tool. I'm going to bring it over here. And because this kind of looks like a measured move down too, doesn't it? Let's see here. Right. So we don't quite reach the 100% target. Maybe a candlestick chart. Nope. No tail. Yeah, it looks weird. You get these candles like, look in here. What? Like, what kind of importance do I get from candlesticks? Sometimes I just don't care. I'm just like, give me the close. That's too much information. This is better. Just like this. Now, what's important about characterizing this first move down as A and not A, B, and C is that it suggests that there's still a third wave going down, a C wave. We can check against that. We want to make sure that maybe we aren't looking at like a complex measured move down, which would have 2 measured moves down nested into it. That target would be at 794. Price didn't reach there. It pushed up. You know, you could characterize this as just corrective. Really, you could. And in which case, we're looking for actually a motive wave heading up. So whether or not this build down is corrective or motive is important. Remember, I'm looking for wave 4 at a larger time degree, of which this is actually wave A, which is also impulse. Let's go ahead and label it. Wave A. And I can't remember if our corrective waves here are capitalized or if they're lowercase. I'm going to go back to the book. Get it right. You know what I'm saying? Get it right. Don't do it wrong. There's no point not checking. It's a lowercase. Okay. I just want the annotations to make sense. It's the best way to try to communicate an idea is in uniform way. So we know that wave B, and this is actually going to be colored blue. I like the next wave degree higher to be blue. There we go. So A and B. And what this means is now I'm going to break this B wave up into 3 different waves, of which the first is impulse, the second is corrective, and the third is impulse. We're going to go A, B, and C. Maybe we can see this on this time frame as well. We have a push here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is the top right through here. It's kind of a small wave, and maybe I should do more detailed analysis there on a smaller wave degree. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and label the top of that wave, wave A, like that. There you go. And then we get this expanding flat or running flat. I don't really know what. We're going to look at the book again. Here we go. Why guess? The book is right here, and there's actually a lot of pictures, which... if you're a picture person, that's fantastic. Again, I'm not sponsored, but you should buy this book by Frost and Pretcher. It's on Amazon. It's great. It's called Elliott Wave Principle. And on page, let's see, 45, we get examples of 335 flats. a flat correction differs from a zigzag in that the subwave sequence is 335, and then it gives us some pretty pictures. Pretty pictures. What we're looking for is a wave in which wave A is exceeded by wave C, and wave B fails to break above, or wave B fails to break below the beginning of wave A. And so that's figure 132, I believe. Let's see what that would be characterized. Since the first action in wave A lacks sufficient downward force to unfold into a full 5 waves, as it does in a zigzag, the B wave reaction, not surprisingly, seems to inherit this lack of counter trend pressure and terminates near the start of wave A. And so when I read that, of course, I'm doing this upside down because they're talking about a bull market correction. I'm talking about a bear market correction. So wave B fails to push below, not the top of wave A. That looks good. And then what's wave C do? Wave C, in turn, generally terminates just slightly beyond the end of wave A. Okay. Rather than significantly beyond, as in zigzags. So what they're getting at is that if this were a zigzag ABC, it would look more like this, where B would terminate somewhere not towards the beginning of the wave A, and then wave C would be, of course, extended up, and this would be a sharp correction. But we don't have a sharp correction. We have a kind of a sideways correction through here, A, B, and C. What's it called again? Let's see. It's a flat 335. I could label that too, I guess. That might be good, right? Let's just cycle 335 flat. And we could go through and do some more analysis and check that by making sure that we, oops, that's not B, that we actually have 335. 3 A, B, C. I mean, I could see it. I can see it. I don't need to rip it apart too much. What this does, though, is it gives me a problem. And the problem is that now I have a push down preceding a motive wave. And I have to label this something, right? And that's difficult to do. Difficult to do. I'm wondering if... And this is why it's important to get the end of the motive wave right. Because if this is actually not the beginning of wave 5 and this is the beginning of wave 5, then we have a different kind of corrective form heading higher, right? So I need to get in here. I need to really scrutinize this wave 5 heading lower. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to zoom in a little bit. Maybe I get into a little more granular of a chart here. So we're going to create a drawing set. We're going to call it primary minus. That's where I'm going to keep my primary waves minus. I'm trying to figure out which of these is the low. And this, I like it. I want to say this is a truncated. If this is a truncated fifth, it clears up that corrective analysis right away. And let's go back actually, so I can get an idea. It's this peak right here. This is the beginning of wave 4 or end of wave 4. Let me start pushing down. Okay, so let's do it. Primary minus this downtrend right here. Yeah, I hate it when the trend breaks and then price spins on it. So annoying. Okay, now what time frame am I going to use here? Let's use the hour. Just go for it. And then I'm going to need a lot of price data to get back that far. My time frame might need to be like 360 days. Is that enough? Yes, it is. Thank goodness. Okay, this gives me a little more to work with, right? I can see oversold a couple of times here and here. Bounce for top of corrective wave here. And then oversold tons of times through this motive wave. Corrective bounce. End of corrective. So this is going to be a tough one. It's going to be very tough. With wave 5 truncates, sometimes we get a chart pattern in here. See, this price extreme makes that hard. And maybe this is what really tells me that this is more characteristic of a corrective zigzag of some sort. I'm looking at this and I just feel like there is a chart pattern through here, right? Right here. Look at that. Okay. I bet you that shows up on the daily time frame as well. It kind of does. And then price pushes up and out. 4, 5, 4, 5. So let's count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I see it. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Here we go. 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 1, 2, 3. This can't be 4 and 5 because 1 and 4 can't overlap. 2 can't retrace wave 1. In which case, it's like, did I get the start of the motive wrong? Is this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No. Where is the bottom of this correction? It's very annoying. We get some higher lows in the RSI down here, and we get we know this is probably the corrective top. Like that, this is A, B, and C. It looks so good, but what I'm seeing is, if that's the case, then we finished wave 4, A, B, C. Unless we're in some sort of triangle, it's possible we have an extension through here, right? It's possible we have an extension through here. Yeah, this could be A, B, C, D, and E appearing. Okay. And that would be a weird spot to do that. That would be a very weird spot to do that, as far as I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can call this 5. And price rebounds higher. Interesting. So this really could, if this is again a complete wave 4, then this motive count doesn't work. Is it possible that we have waves 1, 2, and we're going into a wave extension? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a motive wave. That's all there is to it. This is clearly a motive wave right here. And I want to keep it on A, B, and C extends. There it is for wave B. Boom. Got it. There you go. Fixed it. It's a 335, and wave 5 is like, woo! Super high. Okay, that helps a lot. That gives me my motive wave count where I need it. I don't have to move the bottom of my cycle wave 5. It's all in a good spot. Let's zoom in now. Get back to the primary minus and know that we have an impulse right here. Go ahead and label that as a primary wave, which, let's see here, is going to be looking like this. And I want to make this one white. There we go. 1, duplicate for a sharp correction. See how sharp that is? Like zigzag. 1, 2, 3. And then we start another little motive wave through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It corrects, and then boom, it pops off higher. We're going to call all of this wave 3 up to here. Yep. And as we commonly do see, and I continue to repeat, is that we get a bearish divergence at the top of waves 3 and 5. So wave 3 peeking out over here means that we've got corrective wave 4 and 5 on the degree below primary, which is intermediate, which I'm going to put in parentheses, and I will also color that blue. Why not? Let's do it. Blue 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and just label that. Sometimes it's hard when I turn the magnets on to like get these annotations where I want them. See how it tries to stick to that? Annoying. We're gonna go ahead and color this red, and you're saying, Cap, that's 3 waves, that can't be motive. And I'm like, yeah, maybe we're actually finishing wave 5 out here, and 3 is like kind of like weird. It's possible. We can clean that up when we zoom in again into a smaller time frame, and I'm gonna do that probably because I'm clearly putting in the effort. I might as well just continue to build on it, right? Let's just go into the hourly, and let's discuss the possibility of this push as a wave 5, in which case we're looking at 4, maybe 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, 4, 5. I mean, I think you could do it. I think you could do it where wave 1 is this push up. It's possible that this is A, B, and C, and then like this is 5 and some sort of like weird reverse triangle or something. That's not likely. What's the most likely is that we get waves. Let's see here. Impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Okay. And that completes 3, 4, 5. I mean, yeah, wave 5 is going to be in a motive form, but not in a channel. It's going to be instead, oh, there it is. And you can see on this time frame too. I was just saying there's a lot of these in the market, and wave E overthrows. This is totally it. This is totally it. Nailed it. Okay, let's go back out. And I think I'm actually still on the daily time frame. Yes, and that's why it looks like a 3-wave corrective mode through here. Well, sure enough, if you have a motive wave that shows up as an impulse like that at the top of a wave count, probably means that price is turning around and going to correct, which it does. Okay, we're not there yet, right? We're looking at waves 3. Yep, okay. Back on it, duplicating the intermediate wave here. Going to be wave 4. And we're trying to finish wave 5. Now, there's a couple of things here about wave 5. And the first is that it's typically the same height as the impulse 1. So we're just going to take impulse 1 here. We're going to say, what was that? Wow, 25%, $21. Well, $21 isn't as much this high in price, right? But if we've found the bottom of wave 4, then wave 5 could easily be targeting 138.33. We can do a quick check and run an extension of wave 1, and the top of the motive wave might end at 161.8%. Let's just touch here, go up through here, and we're already looking at that level of 124.16. So we've already gotten the extension. And so wave 5 is likely probably to truncate, honestly. We're going to note that here. Likely to truncate, which means it won't pass the high of wave 3. If it does, then it'll get its own wave count, and we'll be looking for that higher target. So we're going to put a bullish continuation level at the top of that intermediate wave 3. Bullish continuation. Just going to go ahead, color it green. That's what I'd like to do. And we're looking for this at the end of this 5 wave. Cool. Let's go ahead and put an uptrend through here too. This is the trend line we're going to watch for a long time. You can see how gently it slopes. It's going to be in effect for a long time. 10-degree slopes very low. And we've reached this extension target. I'm going to go ahead and color this appropriately. Let's see. This is looking for the top of what color was that wave? It was white. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just make that the same color. There we go. We're going to make these all match. If you haven't noticed, the colors are the, well, it's for the Argentine flag. Blue, white, and yellow. Okay, so do I want to extend this? Yeah, let's extend it to the right, because it's going to be a significant level of support and resistance on both sides. We're looking for retracement now. I'm going to try to see if I can characterize this as a motive wave through here in a channel. Can I do that? Yeah, wave 3 has its own channel. That channel breaks, gives us wave 4 at the higher degree, waiting for wave 5 to top out. And what does this do again? This completes wave C at a higher wave degree. See that? At the cycle degree, wave C. Remember, a cycle wave is motive. This is wave B. And so then, this is where we get speculative. Wave C needs to come in. And wave C is going to be down. Right. And who knows how low. We could do some more analysis on a large time frame and speculate how low. It's tough, though, when you get this sort of scaling happen. Let's look at this correction at 726. Yeah. Okay. Wave 3 extended. There's like something in here about retracements, actually. Like retracement tendencies. And it'd be nice if I had that marked. I think I actually do. I'm going to take just like a minute here and see if I can find it. Wow. Okay, there's like several pages here where it's gonna be, maybe it's one of these guys. I found it. Multiple wave relationships. On page 137, again, Elliott wave principle by Frost and Pretcher. Keep in mind that all degrees of trend are always operating in the market at the same time. Therefore, at any moment, the market will be full of Fibonacci ratio relationships, all occurring with respect to the various wave degrees unfolding. It follows that future levels that will create several Fibonacci relationships have a greater likelihood of marking a turn than a level that will create only one. Gotcha, confluence. And then he's got the tendencies here. Okay, now I've seen waves A and B. We're looking for how long does a reactionary trend fall after a third wave extension, right? So looking for, and I'm looking at this diagram right now. It's got this big wave 3, 4. Let's see here, where 4 equals 0.382 of 3. 0.382 of 3. And so that means that my Fibonacci tool is going to have, that's going to be like the 72% level, or I'll flip it upside down. Yeah, I'm going to flip it upside down. So I'm going to start at the top, drag it down, and then drop the level down, 0.382. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what that does for us. Because that's a huge wave. I'm like scared. It's going to be too much. We're just going to be like, plop. We'll zoom in here and we'll try to get this magnetized. I'm on the monthly time frame now. We're going to go plop. Oh, I've got this upside down. Okay, there we go. And down here we go. 0.382, 0.786, whatever. Okay, yeah, 0.382. That's what we want. Click this off. Hit OK. And remember, this is a sharp correction down here, and so we're looking for a flat correction over here, and we're saying that 94.29 is where this goes. We're gonna edit this. I'm gonna label it. This is the big one, bigger corrective trend. Okay, we're gonna go back into the daily, and we're gonna extend that to the right, and boom! Look at that. Is that not a hit? That's a hit. Goodness, look at that level of support and resistance. Price comes down through there, and once it hits it, the motive wave stops, set a bullish divergence, and then moves through a corrective waveform, bouncing off of that level, heading higher. Beautiful. In which case, we aren't really looking to exceed that level. That's the tendency for a correction. Mind you, this trend that I show is huge. It's huge. How many years is this? 2008 to like 2021? It's not going to correct in a year. It's going to take longer than that. You can see the first corrective spill really was only a year too. Possible. Ooh, possibly. We may be done correcting. Maybe. Doesn't seem like it. Let's give it another year, and wave C needs to come in probably for a correction. At least what happens next is that we get a reactionary trend from this impulse C, and that'll give us 3 waves and then a 4th and a 5th. It'll be weird looking probably, but probably have wave C coming down shortly. We've broken this uptrend after all, and because I've extended that through that level, I'm going to make it a solid line to show that it is a internal trend line now. Price moving through an expanding pattern through here. Do you see that? How price is expanding below that uptrend? And breaking the bearish divergence in the RSI to me means that we're setting a significant high. Let's go ahead and move into our smaller waveform analysis here. 4 and 5. Yep. Let's go ahead and pull this down too. It's very possible we're looking at waves 1 and 2, but I think we're peaking out. We're peaking out for 4 and 5. Makes sense to me. It looks good. Looks good. Sometimes you get these third wave extensions that look like they should be motive wave or like corrective waves like A, B, and C. I've been noticing that. Like your first impulse is small with a correction, and then you get a big wave 3, and then like some sort of flag through here, or maybe you get a horizontal triangle. What? I never would have guessed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, completing 3, 4. Maybe we aren't done with wave 4. Wave 4 could be longer. This could be like A, B, and C for 4, and then 5, and then we start correcting down for C. That makes sense. Maybe C breaks a subtrend. Still looking. I really want to call this waves 1 and 2, but I'm not doing that yet. Not yet. We have, if we do that, it's going to be waves 4 and 5, and then we're going to call the next push down 1, impulse 1, which will probably bounce at 110 or something, right? And then we'll see some more movement to the downside. Let's go ahead and drop a big trend line down through here too. Let's just be like, and we'll glue this thing to the top of that peak. No, we'll take it from the absolute high to the, this is the most conservative downtrend ever. Extend to the right, and we'll go ahead and color that appropriately. There you go. I mean, and didn't we just say wave 5 could reach somewhere up here? Like, let's just take the amplitude of wave 1 again. I'm going to do it in a channel tool. It just makes it easier sometimes. And it's an approximate. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to like take the time to get that, let's see, as close as I can. And then I'm going to zoom back out. I'm just going to take this thing, carry it up here. There you go. If wave 5, which tends to be as long as wave 1, does not truncate, then it is going to probably test this downtrend. You can see how that range makes it comparable to the height of wave 1. And if we get that, then we're going to go up and hit the downtrend. Good TA, but do you have anything for explosive diarrhea? The answer is yes. I'm sorry that you're having diarrhea. That sucks. I've been there. So I have a lot of diarrhea stories, actually. I have a lot of food poisoning stories. Yeah, one time when I was 19, I lived in Argentina for 2 years, and like I was like proselyting, and I was in their homes, and there was this one lady, and her name was Graciela, and she was so nice, and she fed us like food, and I wasn't gonna like reject it, you know. She was offering us what she had, and it was really sweet of her. And it was this chicken, and it wasn't like totally cooked, I guess. And I had the worst experience with food poisoning ever. I was down for like a week, and it was like, I'm serious, listen to this. It was like 40 or 44 degrees Celsius or something like that. And we were living in seriously like a 200 square foot concrete box with a window, a door, and just a corrugated steel roof. And it was hot. It was so hot. Of course, there's no AC. Just, you know, we call them calefactores. Calefactor. It's like a gas radiator heater. And we didn't have any AC, of course. So I was like sweating bullets. I didn't really have proper bedding. I had a sleeping bag. So I'm living in a sleeping bag, like in this little 200 square foot room. It's well over 100 degrees. And I ate some raw chicken. And so I'm just like losing fluids like crazy, and we couldn't drink the water. Man, that was a bad encounter. So I feel ya. I'm there for ya. My recommendation for explosive diarrhea is actually a bidet. You know, get a bidet, get an attachment for your toilet. They make those, but make sure you get one that has a backflow preventer. I worry about those consumer end products because like not all of them are going to be rated. Like that's the thing is, yes, you can go to the store and you can buy things that don't meet like safety regulations or like health regulations. You can do that. You can go to the Home Depot and buy stuff that you shouldn't buy. You can do that. Anyway, let's let me take a peek at the Discord. Let me just do that on my phone. Sometimes I don't know if it's going to pop up on the screen that I'm streaming. What's going on here? Is it why isn't it showing up on my phone? Oh, there it is. I click the trading lounge. I go to the lounge AMC, and Obi-Wan's like, yep, what goes up must come down. It's true though. You guys get in the Discord, follow Obi-Wan. Like he's got a theta farm going right now, and it's just like making money. And I don't know why I don't do it. Well, I'm unemployed right now, so it's like cash is kind of a commodity. But you can go into the channel over here. Let's see. Theta, this is the way, and he gives us updates and stuff, and it's just great. You know, he's nearing expiration here on some AMC puts he sold actually, And I'm thinking he's gonna be okay. $4 put. We got a lot of resistance there, you know, at the 401 level. So I wonder what his expiration is, July 23rd. Yeah, I think Obi-Wan's gonna be just fine here, and he's just gonna like pocket all that cash he got from selling those puts. So good on you, dude. All right, let's move. Let's keep going here. That was Google. Anything else? Anybody want anything else? That was a big analysis. I might actually dive in a little more here. Let's go create a drawing set. So let's go minute minus. Whew, because I know that we're looking for 4 and 5. So we're gonna get real small here. Yeah, that looks nice, doesn't it? Could this be a complete wave 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wow, 4, 5. Is this a motive wave yet? Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's go to the hour time frame. Came in looking for TP and got some TA instead. Hey, great typo, man. Great typo. You might have to get one of those oh wait, oh yeah. After mods, you can buy one of those toilets that blows water on your butt. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, they're like homemade bidets, basically. If you're in a pinch, get a shower handle that has like an attachment. You know, you can get in the tub. That's nasty, I know, right? But honestly, like it makes more sense. All the plumbing goes to the same place. In fact, most of the time in like a house, typically your bathtub and your toilet plumbing are like right next to each other anyway. Like whatever. It's all a drain. All goes to the same place. Anyway, let's look at this. I need to go back and look at these larger degrees of. That's top of 3, 5. Does wave 3 end as some sort of diagonal? Jeez. Let's get some more price data on here. Let's go 180 days. Okay. Can I characterize that in a diagonal? Let's see. Nope. Definitely a channel through there. Yep. Motive channel. Okay. Never mind. What I'm trying to do is figure out if this is wave 5. Brain. Get it together. This is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're finding wave 2 through here on a very small wave degree. Let's see. What's below? What is this? Jeez, primary. So I'm really only getting down to intermediate at this point. Then I need to be on a larger time frame. Let me just take another look here. I get lost in the wave degrees. You know what? Let's move on from Google. Let's go look at something else. RSI ain't the only thing that's dropping. I'll tell you that much. Nasty. Let's go look at Apple, because Apple's been just like ripping hard. It didn't peak out at 174. It looks like I had a target at 193. Hey, Apple, target reached. Target reached. This is how I do my thumbnails for my channel. I just like put this over here and then I'll like screenshot it and then I'll save it. This one's, oh, I actually made a thumbnail for this live. I wonder what the thumbnail is going to be for this live. I should have thought of that. Oh, well. Anyway, okay, let's just like, whoa, zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, you can see all of this through here. And okay, we're just gonna turn on the hourly chart. That's what the time frame was when I drew those. Let's get a year going and we'll go back and we'll have a look. All right, so through here, I was thinking maybe we had waves 1, and this is the minor degree, wave 2 at the minor degree. And then this extension tool through here, this is gonna give me that wave 3 extension I'm looking for. And I believe this is the one that we actually just reached the target of. Let's see. Yep. When I highlight it, it's blue. So 174.70 was the first target. Nailed it. And that's what characterizes an ABC correction higher. Now wave 4 here comes in. And you can see that it's sideways in kind of a reverse triangle fashion. Oh, we should watch Tesla for this too. Tesla might do the same thing. Let's go ahead and color this thing to the appropriate color of its wave degree. And this is a really good Elliott wave count. I am so proud of me. Let's go ahead and just put wave 4 here. And then this could be wave 5. Boom! Nailed it. Topping out now though, finally. It just took it like 6 months longer than I thought. That's how it goes. There's 3, 4, and then wave 5 here, peeking out over here. Because we've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we might not even be done with wave 5 yet. Big eye roll. I like this count because it gives me a sharp correction for 2, and it gives me a flat correction for 4. Otherwise, we'd be saying that this is all a wave 3 extension. And it could be all wave 3. But personally, I like to get that target at 100% reached. Get wave 4 in there. And then 5. The problem is that wave 1 can't be, or wave 3 can't be the shortest wave. Right? So we actually are probably building into wave 4. And this is the top of wave 3. Yeah. Yup. And let's see here. At a smaller degree. Yeah, that's the minor degree. So let's get a minute copied over here. I know I'm going to have 5 over here. Let's see. This is probably 5 because do we have a divergence here? Okay, not really. Let's go to the daily time frame. Let's find these divergences. Wow, triple divergence. Wow, what an extension. What an extension. But then you get it. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Let's get rid of that one. And let's just, I bet you this shows up on, this might show up on the hourly. It's this divergence right here that marks the top of wave 3. Jeez, did we just start wave 4? Incredible. What power? What power? Jeez, it's nuts. It's just crazy. It just keeps running and running, running. At any rate, wave 4 is going to be a flat. So it starts with a zigzag. Get wave B. We're probably just going to be grinding through here for a bit. Let's just draw a rectangle. Let's just do it. We could get a rectangle top through here if wave 5 decides to truncate. Pull this down. And let's color this yellow. There we go. Topping out wave 3 over here. See, if this is corrective, that's okay. This needs to be motive. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. 3 is going to be like, on the minute time degree, I need 5 to be below the cycle 3. And this is a corrective wave here. And it's too small to be 4 at the minor degree. It could be a corrective wave 4. And then the final wave of the third wave extension. I need to analyze wave 3. I don't have enough of this analyzed yet. Am I really going to have to do this? Oh my goodness. Look at how much analysis I have to do. It's okay. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's start by getting rid of some of these lines. Just going to go bloop, 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 bloop. And then we're going to zoom in here a little bit. Okay. And it looks like I characterize this as some sort of diagonal through here. And it breaks out, pushes down, goes back up. It's in the wrong spot to be a leading diagonal triangle, so forget about it. It's tempting, right? But not gonna work. Instead, we're gonna look at this as, well, look, we have an uptrend through here. Oh, this is good. This is gonna provide a lot of clarity. But, I mean, it just barely underthrows. Pushes higher. 1. A, B, C, X, A, B, C, 1. That's nice of me to leave myself a little count here. I'm just going to keep going here. 1, 2, and we'll do it. We'll use an extension tool through here, and we'll just keep it running. So I'm just looking for the peak. Yep, wave 3 can't be the shortest wave. So this is the fastest way for me to check that. Is just to put that tool down. So I know that can be wave 3. And then wave 4 is supposed to be like sideways. Looks like it goes down, kind of sharp. Kind of sharp, right? 1, 2. So this might be where we get another wave. This could be a wave extension through here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could that be a truncated 5th? No way. A, B, C. Or is it A, B, C extension? It's a funny one. Definitely a funny one. I'm going to need to use like another trend line through here for that one. Ooh, that looks good, doesn't it? So there we go. Now we're getting some context. Okay. Okay. I see it. 4 and 5. And then A, B, C. Do you see that? Nailed it. Use the trend lines. The trend lines are so important. A, B, and C. Nice. Typically we correct. What was it? 0.382. Let's go ahead and just drop one of these bad boys down. Let's not do it backwards though. Let's do it the way that we're supposed to do it. Because I'm looking for a tracement of the wave. So I want 100% to be at the top. And then I want you to show me 0.382 of that. And we get 156.05. And what was the low of that corrective ABC? 156.56, 60 cents is nothing on a stock price this high. Incredible, right? Cap, you think AMC reaches to new highs ever? Adam Aaron has me bent over showing me the 50 states. Yeah, that's that's unfortunate. All-time highs, my opinion is that no. My opinion is that no. I sold a lot higher than we're at now, and I feel good about it. So I personally am biased against a rally. It's possible, though, that we do get something like that. I doubt it, but yeah, not quite. If you're holding on to a lot of shares, something you could consider is selling options against those shares, covered calls. It's a great way to lower your cost basis or more just recuperate, hedge. And there's a good market for those calls. As you know, people are buying those calls all the time. So there's a market for them. They're expensive. The implied volatility is really high. Selling calls on AMC could be very lucrative. It could be. It really could. You run the risk, though, of course, of a big explosion in price. So you got to hedge against that. If I were to run an option strategy on AMC, what would I do? I would probably sell. I'd probably do like a diagonal vertical spread of some sort. And I would have to use some very key levels there, and I'd probably try to be safe about it. And so I'd go out of the money with it, most likely. Because again, trying to sell the theta there, earn the theta. Do you think FNGR has a wave 5 in it, or is it done? Ooh, that's a good specific question. I like that. We'll come back to Apple later. This count's looking really good, though. Look at that wave tendency there. That's really good. So 1, 2. This is probably 1, 2, 3s. Oh my God, we got a long way to go. I'll come back to that later. FNGR. Here we go. Let's go to the daily. Let's go monthly max. Finger Motion Inc. I don't even know what Finger Motion Inc. is. Should I do a Google search on that really quick off screen? Do I want to do a Google search on that? It sounds... Let's see here. Finger Motion Inc. Doing a search. It's thinking about it. Mobile Data Specialist Company. Interesting. I know nothing about this company. I'm just gonna click on a Yahoo Finance thing here and company insights. I don't know. We have some. Let's see. Summary. Tell me about the company. Give me something to go off of here. What does Finger Inc. do? Maybe you can tell me in the chat that what they do. What's up, James? How's it going? Let's look at this. Let's look at this chart. We'll get going here. We'll go monthly max. Oh my goodness! Wow. So we had an IPO. We came out at around $5. Did the whole corrective 3-wave motion at open. Bounced back up. This thing isn't like characteristic. No, this is important. Elliott wave analysis is based on the assumption that price moves in trends. And there are definitely some trends in here. Whether or not the entire data set forms a trend or not is also very important. And basically what we're looking at is a chart where the current price is basically where the IPO is. Is there a trend? No, there's not a trend here. It's grinding sideways, which is going to make it difficult. We could perhaps characterize this as in some sort of a massive triangle. I'm going to try to get some price extremes in there to help provide a little more information so I can try to make a better analysis. Is it possible? A, B, C, D didn't get E. No, that's not how I want to look at that. In fact, this is what's hard about this chart is every single trend is going to break pretty quickly. Let's just take this downtrend, for instance. This one breaks. And then this one was super sharp, right? And it breaks. And let's start just duplicating these guys. Here's another downtrend. It breaks right there. Duplicate this. I have two there. And let's try to get that lined up nicely. I mean, that's like a straight shot, right? So it breaks right away. No trend there. And then we didn't get an upward breakout. Oops. From, let's see, we didn't get a new low to confirm this trend line extension. And so we have to do another downtrend, which breaks. Currently in an uptrend, so let's have a look at that. That's a weird chart. That is a weird chart. Was there like a reverse stock split or something in here? That's kind of big. Do we have any news on this one? What was news like? What day was this? 9/19. What year? 2021? 2022. Let's go see what that was. Oh, it doesn't go back that far. Interesting. There are a bunch of like halts. That makes sense. The price is pretty volatile. Finger motion. Q1 EPS. -2 cents, up from -3 cents year on year. Sales 12.17 million, up from 4.6. Wow, that's a big jump there. Well, I guess I don't have the news to really know what was going on there. Wow, 2 years hold on AMC. Good on ya. That's a long hold, dude. That's a long hold. Yeah, props. You actually might have a cost basis that's still in like $8 or $12, which is fantastic. A finger looks like the perfect sell signal. Okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn on the daily chart, and because this is characteristically trendless, I'm looking at A, B, and C through here, and there is a big divergence right here. Maybe we get one more push higher. Maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. We've reached that ABC target though. That's the thing, is we've already kind of reached that ABC target. We're trendless, grinding sideways. Implied volatility is doing all sorts of weird stuff. I'm going to turn on a study set. This is Obi-Wan's work. It's called the Mewtwo signal. It's not perfect, but you can see all these buy signals down here. And then boom, thing rockets, and you get a sell signal right here. Really not bad. Honestly, not bad. Like, you can get a sell signal for like 200-300%. Not bad. You got a second sell signal up here. So this is probably indicating that, yeah, you're probably going to want to sell. This indicator, it's based on a lot of different things. I think Williams fractal's in there. I know the RSI is a thing. I know there's something about opens and closes. It's really good. It's a great thing. So I'm seeing a sell signal here, and I'm seeing the bearish divergence from the RSI. We've reached the price target for wave C. We've got a ton of volume through here. Big volume spike at the high probably signals resistance, and then selling pressure following that. Blow that up a little bit. That volume trend though is still increasing on the 30-period average, and that's probably because this like 30 days ago. What's your 1, 2, 3? Wait, I can just do this. Aha, 34 bars, 33, 32, 30 bars. Okay, right. This one. So you can see that our average is still including these very low volume days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll know in probably 2 weeks what volume is doing. I kind of expect to see this drop and price fall with it. Honestly, that's what I'd be expecting. Let's do something else here as well. Let's turn on. I don't have the MACD showing. I don't really use the MACD that often. It can be very informative though. Really can be. Cap, off topic, but want to play Fortnite sometime? Okay, yeah. I mean, I play Fortnite. Who doesn't play Fortnite or hasn't played Fortnite? But yeah, I do play Fortnite. I really do. I should like post my. I've actually thought about doing streams for games too. Right now, I'm getting into Farlight 84 because I can play it on my phone, which is really good. I've got this massive like Galaxy Samsung 22 Ultra or whatever. And it's a great phone. I like it a lot. I got a controller for it, a Razer controller, and I can use like the sticks, which is good. Just good. Sensitivity is a little high on the right joystick, but it's all good. I'll work on the Fortnite thing. If you guys want to play Fortnite, we can play Fortnite. In fact, maybe what I should do is I should like stream charts over a Fortnite game, right? And then that'd be kind of fun. We could just play games and watch stock charts. And because I know it's like staring at the charts like boring, right? You just don't want to stare at the chart, and so you gotta like do something else too, right? Anyway, so yeah, I'm thinking this probably looks like it's coming down to correct. Volume might start petering out here fairly shortly. Let's look at the candles. Oh my god, I'm so thirsty. I've more or less been talking nonstop for 2 hours. A long time. Very long time to be talking. All right, candles on the daily. Where's that big volume spike? Right here. Let's look at the hourly. Maybe we can get a little more precise. Where was the volume? Red, red, red. Big sell volume right here coming in for sure. Wow. Look at the RSI. This is like crazy. Where did enter overbought? 494. And how far did it run? Look at that rally. Sometimes you get the biggest percentage moves while the RSI is just bouncing around and overbought. That is such a bullish thing to do. We haven't even reached oversold yet. It's kind of crazy. Uh-oh. I'm looking at a chart and I'm like zooming in. And I'm like, yeah, this is a flag, right? Remember, we only have a 60% chance statistically of a breakout here to the upside. And we have to get above here. We'll just label it. Let's put it down. Edit. Bullish confirmation right here. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and draw some trend lines too. Maybe we get a pattern in here. Yeah, we do. 1, 2, 3. Too much. This is what Bukowski calls white space, where you don't have enough trend line touches. So what do? We go like this. Suddenly the chart makes a lot more sense, and what we see is more of a horizontal triangle. A, B, C, D, E pushing down. Although this really is probably top of a motive wave. Probably A, B, C, D, and E is going down. Anyway, I think I see a horizontal triangle through here. Maybe it's more like between these peaks. Through there. These magnets are driving me nuts right now. At any rate, this is the corrective uptrend, right? No, that's the corrective uptrend. Let's do a correction target. Let's just do it. Take the top, go to the bottom, pull it up. Oh, look at that. There's an important support and resistance at 494. That's actually the IPO, I thought, right? I don't know. It really looks like, though, we'll be coming down to 469 on the extension, 362. Things got a funny look to it, doesn't it? It really does. I really want to draw this. I really want to draw that. I really do. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's bullish. And I think if I use that touch point, it works. 1, 2, don't count it. 3, 4. Pretty good spacing. I mean, we could count it. Let's turn up the time frame a little bit. That gets rid of some of that price data. Then it looks a little better too, probably. Yeah. Okay, there we go. And then maybe we can pull this down. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pushing down, pulling up to this trend line, which we'll test. If we get, wow. So the price is actually really close to bearish confirmation right here. Let's label it. Color it bearish confirmation. There we go. Price is, of course, pulling back up into the pattern right now. On the minute time frame. This is what that looks like. Big volume down there. Implied volatility popping back up. Nice little zigzag through here. We might actually get a little uptrend through here. Come back up in, hit this top again. It's bouncing around. This is a weird chart. Okay, let's look at something else. What have I not looked at? I'm just gonna start checking the markets. Let's check Playboy, of course. Ooh, ouch. Playboy's taking a beating, not gonna lie. We're bouncing around in a triangle through here, I think. Yikes. I mean, the 100% target's 163. We found support there, bounced off of it. Now spinning. This is probably forming a bear flag on a larger time frame. Let's turn on line chart and get into the hourly. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so weesh. Bearish confirmation is like right here, and the price is just gliding on top of it. I think we've definitely got our three-wave motion through here for wave C. I think this is even a 15-minute chart, isn't it? Yes. And the only rule for this corrective wave is that it can't completely retrace the initial impulse. Here's wave 1 back here. This trend line right here. And it started at 160. And so this is the big bearish reversal level. And until we get below there, we're still technically potentially bullish. Bearish confirmation right there. And hopefully we just don't get there, right? It'd be nice to see this level hold and then a big double bottom form through here. That'd be great. This downtrend's broken, but I think what I want to draw is this. If we can break this downtrend, then this is a good entry, I believe. Personally, looks like a bottom to me. If we can get the price to bounce here, it won't probably. It won't. Playboy needs to get rid of or sell a couple companies, and then I think their balance sheet will be better, and then the news will come, and then the buyers will come, and then the price will soar, and then the news will come because about the price soaring, and then people who read the news about the price soaring will come and push the price more, and then the news will be about the people who bought the news who pushed the price, and then, you know, that cycle. But right now it's just like grindy, and we're very close to bearish reversals, so just kind of holding my breath here. Let's go take a look at GLD. GLD, woo, nice push. That looks good on the 15-minute time frame. And on the hourly, do I have any like good chart drawings or analysis here? I used to like, ooh, that's a nice count. Let's check this count. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Nice. Okay. Leaned at 1 2. Ooh, we got, wow, in wave C, this should be an ending diagonal, but it's not. Oh my god, it broke out to the other way. Price rips, almost reaches that extension target, retraces 4, and then 5, and now we've had A, B, and C, and we're reversing, which means we could be heading higher on a much higher wave degree. Let's go ahead. There's on the minor degree wave 1. Yes, duplicate. Is this the bottom of wave 2? I get excited because wave 3 is huge, right? Let's see here. This is me speculating, right? It's wave 1, 2. This would be bigger. It would be coming up through this channel. Gonna delete that right now, and we're gonna clean up some of this. We're gonna take off this trend line. I don't know what that's doing there. Whatever, like whatever. All right. And then what's this thing coming from? Ooh, that's coming from Impulse 3 and 4. And it looks like I'm hiding it, which is kind of nice. Let's go here with that, and then pull the retracement. It's down to wave 2. Do you see how high that target is? 215, 238. Yes. Okay. 1, 2. Yeah, and then wave 5 would be up here. Cool. So where is bullish continuation? It's up here. Oh my goodness. I would love to have bullish continuation. And we'll make this green, and we'll put that down. There we go. And let's do a little correction analysis here. Looks like 1, 2, 3. I didn't do this tool. This isn't right. That's the top. Right. I need to zoom in. Can't see what I'm doing over here. And I think actually at this time frame, we're looking at the hourly chart back here. We're going to take this top and this bottom. Whoops. And then A, B, and C makes a 3-wave form, which completes a B. Ooh, what's the downside target there? 172. How far did we get? We didn't get close. We didn't even get close there. That's funny. Can I finagle it and say that we had a flat correction? I don't know what to do with that. We had a corrective wave that didn't hit an ABC target. So we're gonna check the 38.2% retracement because this is a complete motive wave at the minute degree. We want to see the retracement. Let's go down here. We're just gonna eyeball it kind of through there. Okay, and we're gonna turn on that 0.382, 175. The price didn't get that low. I mean, no complaints. Send to the right. And this is not a rule, it's a tendency. And I guess we did get really close. Let's just keep zooming in until we find it. Oh, look how close it got on the 15. Let's try the one. Wait. Was it? Let's see. Oh, it got so close. 176, 67, 175. Like, within $1. That's an acceptable tolerance, honestly. Yeah, so we didn't hit the ABC target, but we did hit the retracement tendency. That could be complete wave 2. That's good. I like it. Let's see here. At the minor degree, my corrective waves are capitalized, actually. A, duplicate, B. And this means I'm going to have to go look at the dollar, too, because it's going to be, like, super low. See. Whoops. See? Completing wave 2. Because 2 is corrective. Is there 2 of those? Yep. Get rid of 1. And let's just give ourselves a little drawing through here to show that we had some sort of corrective triangle, which broke out both ways before it picked a direction. Like, what good is that? Whatever. Maybe we have to just back it out a little bit and be like, yeah, a little understanding with it. Ugh, it doesn't look great. A, B, and C. Done. Looking at for a motive wave now, and here we have the RSI hitting the overbought 3 times. So this is probably the top of a motive wave. We're going to correct a little bit, and then boom, push higher, test that 190.44. And if we break it, we'll be off to the races yet again with GLD. Exciting. I'm going to look at this chart more. Let's zoom out. I haven't looked at my GLD analysis in a long time. Wow. Looks like I'm calling... What wave cycle is that? Super cycle, grand super cycle. That's the biggest one. And then this is a 2. And then we start counting bullish waves here. I can see I have an extra number out here. 1, A, B, C for 2, 3. This is 4. Oh, we're doing wave 5. Oh. Oh, okay. I don't think those wave degrees are right. Those wave degrees are wrong. Interesting. Wave 3 was a huge extension. 4, 5. If this is true, that this is 1, 2, 3, then we're actually going to be looking like at a degree of, we're going to be talking about scale, not just like you know, Google was like $8. Now it's not. It's like 100, whatever. We're talking about those kinds of increases here. Give me max available on the weekly. This could be actually A, B, and C. This whole correction through here could be 2, and this could be 1. This could be 1. This could be wave 1. That's probably wave 1. I've changed my whole count then. That's irritating. Well, I think just at the cycle degree. So if that's 1, we're working on 3 actually. Not 5. And then this is the bottom of wave 2 over here. Yeah. A, B, C. And so what that gives us is a motive, corrective, motive, man, and then it just explodes, of course. And I'm going to take this 2 is actually, this ABC is on a bigger time frame. So yeah, okay, here we go. Here we go. 1, 2 is flat. 3 will probably come up here to 238. And then we'll get a sharp 4. And it'll come down to wave 2 of the third wave extension, and then we'll see if 5 gives us another push higher. Got a cat back here meowing at me. All right. Woo! Gold is looking good. That means dollar's probably not looking so good. Dollar continues to push down. And there's 2 targets here, right? One at 92 and the other at 120. I was pretty certain we were going to get a big bounce here. And we did not. Nope. Price came down and pushed up, then it reversed. And then we confirmed the reversal at 102, pushed lower. So we gotta respect that. You've always gotta respect those levels. And yes, the bias and the analysis will flip as soon as that happens. You can see though, we may be actually hitting the bottom of this based on this measured move down, which I'm drawing here very carefully on the hourly time frame. The 161-point extension at 99.08. Pretty close, pretty close. I mean, this was a pretty brutal sell-off, really. Could the dollar reverse here? The dollar could absolutely reverse here. It absolutely could. Everyone's bearish on the dollar. And then watch the Federal Reserve come in here and raise rates. And then the dollar strength go crazy. There's a lot of things that could do that, really. The dollar strength is based on a basket of currencies, so it's important to remember that. The Federal Reserve is not in complete control of this. There is probably a triangle through here. A, B, C, or I should say A, B, C, D, E. Oh, interesting. See, if you use the bottom of this motive wave to start your triangle, you're going to start your triangle in the wrong spot. This is the triangle right here. See how drastically that changed the analysis? And then what else this does is it establishes that if there's a horizontal triangle there, you're probably in wave B, and we're looking for this measured move down to take us down to like 91. Right, towards $92. There you go. We've passed this level, and so now it's time to flip. It wasn't time to flip until now. Now it's time to flip. This is where your stop losses would be if you were like trading this, or if you were still bullish, this is where you'd be accumulating, start your accumulation. But personally, I'm thinking to myself, this does look like the dollar's going to drop, which would be super bullish for silver and gold. So I'm not mad. I love silver and gold. My favorites. Well, all right. This has been fun. It's been a couple of hours. Thanks for watching, everybody. I might do this more. I don't know. It's a good time. Like, maybe I'll do it instead of making a video, because, like, this was a lot of energy. My voice is dying. Okay, I'm going to sign off. Everybody have a good day. Stay safe.